Scorpio.
Hello Scorpio, this is your March astrological forecast, and listen, we got two main clusters that are taking place this month. That's going to give you a super focused insight on a few areas in your life. The rest is just going to be working in the background and whatnot, but the first area that you will find yourself dynamically interacting with is the area of your children, or also self-expression, your creativity, and also the leisure things that you love to do when you take some time off. It's in the house of Leo, right? And Leo just loves to have fun. It's a very charismatic sign. And so you may not feel like wanting to work too much, at least not on the ordinary goals. Right now it's more about pleasure. And listen, if anybody definitely deserves to have some extra pleasure in your life, that's you, Scorpio, because you've been working a whole lot extra as of late. So when we have the Sun and Mercury, the Sun being you and Mercury's communication, here it's coupling up with Neptune a little bit down the road. This is a time for you to pay attention to what your higher mind is trying to tell you. If you're hearing these little messages, take some time off, right? Go do this, then do so. Neptune will grant you just a lot of extra inspiration this month, as when they couple up, they will definitely find magic to perform and carry out. Venus and Mars is traveling through the 6th house alongside there with Uranus and also the new moon this month. Now, the 6th house, that's that second little cluster of planets that are really going to be activating you here in March, which has to do with your day-to-day routine. Mars, of course, is very feisty, as it is in the sign of Aries, which will give you a double load of energy, right? It rules Aries, and or should I say Aries rules Mars. So it's super fueled to the max. You're going to find that you have a lot more physical stamina and energy to put towards wanting to reorganize your life. Think about the 6th house being ruled by Virgo, right? They are super organizers. So you will love it when you put everything back into a reset phase, right? Because everything that you're doing now is going to linger for the next 2 years until Mars comes and gives you what I would call this free energy. And it's free just because you're motivated. Sometimes we have to clean, we got to organize when we're not really motivated, and it comes 10 times heavier to do. Right now you're going to find the joy of it, and that is also because Venus is in this area as well. So Venus is wanting to beautify, move things around a little bit, get a little new feng shui here or there. Colors might come into being, especially because your Sun is in that creative 5th house, right? That may bring a lot of this creativity in, and you will just find a great pleasure of doing these things. Now, Mars comes around 2 years. Venus, it's going to be a full year before you get this extra free ride, should I say. But also the 6th house, see, is all about consciousness when it comes to your health. What are you eating? What are you not eating anymore? Have you just fallen to fast food? Do you need to kind of reset there too? This is questions that your higher mind will be prompting you with, picking you on the shoulder and say, hey, I really need to pay attention now. That Virgo energy is very conscious of body, mind, spirit, the connection, how it all comes together to be healthy, to be harmonious, and so forth. So you might find yourself setting yourself up on new programs. We're talking about breaking free from old restrictions, clearing out, getting new ducks in a row, getting rid of that old routine. And I'm thinking a lot of you Scorpions already did that under that lunar eclipse of February 10th, right? Getting rid of toxic people, places, situations, routines, habits. And so we're more fit to fight, and especially after that solar eclipse there at the end of February. So So I feel you're good to go, and this month is going to be carrying a lot of new signatures coming into, as far as we have Jupiter and Uranus. They're at odds with one another right now. Jupiter is your faith, your belief system. It's what's right or wrong in your mind, in my mind, in all of our minds. It's a global aspect, which of course all these transits are. But it finds itself opposing Uranus, and Uranus wants change. And even when it doesn't like certain changes, it will oppose it too. And so we can see already all the demonstrations worldwide. It's not just here in the US. This is because people, they are feisty with that Mars and Aries to present their belief system, what they want and what they don't want. Now, since Jupiter will be retrograding until June 10th, we'll see that this aspect is going to last and linger into summer. It's not just the Dakota pipeline here today in February, as per today I'm doing this reading. This is going to be an ongoing thing. There may be new things coming in, and we're all going to have a personal stake in it as to what we believe in, how we believe, and what changes do we want. We all have to make those decisions. We may not all be out demonstrating, but we all need to look at ourselves for what we feel is right, wrong, or just. On the 2nd, we have your vision, your goals. It is that heightened intuition when the Sun meets up with Neptune, okay? It's conjunct. It is in your 5th house, so there's something very creative. It's that dream that you've been thinking about for a long time. It's right here, right now, in your hand. And I feel it's sending you off on these very first days of March. And on the 5th, or by the 5th, should I say, I feel that you've locked it in. That whatever communications you've had, agreements, maybe contracts, the 5th to 6th, the 6th, straight through to the 10th, I feel that this is all that same process that you're dealing with. So it's coming in back to back. You're getting it all in place. And yes, it has to do with joy. Yes, it has to do with expanding those things that bring you that joy and happiness. I feel your children are included one way or another for those of you who do have children. Any signatures on the 5th, I feel, has longevity written all over it. This is Mars taking this action with Saturn. And Saturn will always want to lock things in a great way, right? The 8th and 9th, I see you radiant, shining, and communicating those very things that you believe in. This is your ruler, Pluto, speaking on these 2 days with your Sun and Mercury. So you're in charge, taking lead, and from the area of the 5th house and to your Pluto there in the 3rd house, which is communication, upon things that you now want to create. It's your creation, Scorpio, and you're in charge. Now let me tell you though, on the 10th, Mars is moving out of fiery Aries, and it's going into Taurus, your 7th house for relationships, any kind of committed partnerships. You will feel like, yes, you're taking lead because you're the one with the Mars in your 7th house, right? So you are radiant, shining, going after what it is that you want, and you can also come to see that the people you're working with around you in this phase will also be quite fiery and action and goal-oriented. You like that though, because in Taurus, Taurus likes security. It likes to know that the quality is good. You're going to be all about quality, making sure that whoever you're working with is coming from that same place. We do have a little bit of a hiccup between the 12th and the 17th, and this is just because Saturn is kind of like coming up with a little bit of a red flag. I feel you might need to adjust or readjust if it isn't up to standards for what you're paying. There's something you're paying for. If you're not feeling that Saturn is happy with it, you might just address it, just to renegotiate. Maybe you've had somebody, for example, to say, come to look at your house to work on your foundation, maybe the bids came in differently than what reality is, and you're going to have to readdress that. But that's okay. It's good though, because I see it's giving you the support and the strength to stand in it and address it so that you could free up and then move forward again in a much better way. So don't stand back. You really want to step up between the 12th and the 17th. On the 20th, though, the Sun, is moving into the sign of Aries. Right here, up to this point, the Sun has been in Pisces. So until March 20th, you're all creative, right? And spiritually inspired, too. But now is time for action. And I see the rhythm of your day-to-day is going to step up a notch. You're very focused on what it is you're going to be working with, and you will be for the rest of the month. And again, I see that there is the changes that you have been thinking about. I feel you've been dreaming about this for a while, Scorpio. Because if I look back in your chart, it's been an ongoing thing. But here you are, the time for manifestation of it. You have Mercury, Uranus. There's some room for surprises here. You get Mars, Neptune. That is actually taking physical energy, dynamic action onto the dream of Neptune. That is what we call going from visualization, right? Putting it forward in your mind and now manifesting it. You are actually manifesting your dream by the end of March. So you want to get all this right, so you're ready to go. And then on the 29th, well, there you have the first green light coming back with feedback to you that things are actually moving. So it's a month of magic. I am really excited for you, Scorpio. This is what you've been wanting for a long, long time. So we just want to round this all up now with the moons. And we got that new moon on the 27th, which for you will be in your 6th house for day-to-day routine and health and so forth. This is where you want to put down your intentions that once I got all my reorganization going on in the closets and the garage and the loft or whatnot, I want to keep it this way. I want to keep it clean, want to keep it just beautiful so I don't have to kind of readdress this every month, right? If you do it right and you put those intentions down, it will automatically kind of just go on in such a great way for you. So the full moon, though, is on March 12th in your 11th house, and that is also the area of hopes and dreams. So, I mean, I feel I've been reiterating dreams, visualizations for this whole month of March, but you can see how even the full moon is coming in to stimulate this for you. It will take center stage for you, and not only that, but I also feel that it's a very social time between you and a group of friends. Anything social online, it could be as well. But these are the dates for this month, and if you want to know now where things are taking place in your moon and rising chart or reading, this is the time to listen to it, especially because we got these two main clusters. Yours in your sun sign is the 5th and 6th house. In your moon rising sign, you'll get them elsewhere and that will also take center stage for you. So listen, Scorpio, I'll see you next month. Have a good one now.